Hey YouTube, one of the best things about the Great League Remix is with all the Whiz Cash and everything gone, I can now use Kanto Ninetales. So for those of you who've been around this channel for a while now, knows that Kanto Ninetales was my go-to Pokemon. I found out it was strong way before everyone else, and I dominated with it. And then they made the Open Great League a water-dominated meta, and it became useless. So with Lantern gone, with Whiscash gone, Kanto Ninetales has some play. There are still waters, there's still Quagsire and stuff like that. So I countered it with a Venusaur and then Jellicent, sort of as a safe swap who can also deal with water Pokemon. So that was the thought process behind the team. Steelix is a nice lead. Plus, there's a lot of Magnezones and stuff on the lead. So there is your that. You may be thinking, didn't you just say you were going to go into your Venusaur if you see a water Pokemon? I sure did. But I did not press the right button. So we're stuck here. I'm going to lose this because all they need to do is shield and essentially claw down. So, okay. They give up switch there. When they didn't need to, they could have easily taken that. So we'll get a Surf off here, which would be super effective. And I'll get my Ninetales back on this Steelix. Steelix will have some energy coming out. Looks like they're just going to sacrifice Steelix, and we'll see what is in the back. I could take the first move. Maybe one of those bait moves would be, yeah, not bait moves, but lowering your attack or defense moves. Here comes the second one. I can live it, but it would hurt. So I'm going to shield, and out comes a Cresselia. And if this switch to Moonblast, which a lot of them have, I can essentially roam free with both Ninetales and Venusaur because they will resist everything. And that seems fast, which makes me believe that they do not have Future Sight. And they don't. Now, Moonblast still does over 50% to a Shadow Venusaur because Shadow Venusaur is very, very glassy in the meta. But holy smokes does it chunk. There's a prime example of that. And then we'll take this out or grab the last shield. Grab the last shield. That's fine. They're going to try and farm down. Not going to happen. At this point, I could just come in and fire spin down. I really don't want to take a Moonblast, so I will shield this. Yeah. Moonblast would still hurt Resistor or not, especially when I'm a Shadow. And then I can just take that out there. Mantine. Mantine's a tricky one because Venusaur is also going to have a little bit of trouble. But this is where we're going to go right in here right away. Coming in Steelix makes me think that I'm going to take Switch here. Or grab a shield. And I think both are okay. If I take a Switch here, they're not going to allow me to take Switch here. This is way too early. They need to chuck some moves here. If I took Switch there, that'd be good. Now that I got shield advantage, I'm not as worried here. Because what I could do, I could potentially grab the second shield here, or take this out. And the thing is, if they double shield, which is exactly what they did, I will let this most likely go. I will come in Ninetales, I will fire spin, and I will launch an overheat at the Mantine. Because this will put it well below 50%, and then it's just in one Frenzy Plant range. So I'm going to overheat, put this below 50%, put it in one Frenzy range. So yeah, they're going to have at least one Aerial Ace. I don't know how much energy they had to make it to the second one, but now they're only one Frenzy, right? They went Ice Beam unnecessarily there. Of course I'm going to shield. Why wouldn't you run Aerial Ace? Unless you're running a really weird moveset like Bubble Beam Aerial Ace or something like that. And it is a Empoleon in the back, and this is only neutral because half water, half steel, but I bet you it's still one-shots. Yeah, Empoleon is so glassy. And again, Venusaur hits super, super hard. Credilli is an interesting one. So they get out. This is kind of tricky. I wouldn't be surprised if I stay in this matchup and then try and align my Venusaur on their Credilli. So I'm going to match shields. Because I had the Fire Spin advantage, I think I could just take this Fire Spin Weather Ball. So I'm not in a rush to get out of here. If I keep the Venusaur aligned on, and now they let this one go. So now it's a question of, do I want to fight for Switch here? Yeah, I'm still going to do that. I'm going to fight for Switch, and I'm going to try and keep the Venusaur on the Credilli. And then Jellicent on whatever's in the back. And out comes a Mantine. So I come in right away. I don't. I think what I'm hoping at the time is that because I have energy advantage, this probably won't take me out. I'll probably be able to take this out, and then maybe I can go for, like, I don't know. I think what I'm doing. I think I'm just, and then I go surf instead of going to the move for some reason. Maybe I'm just gonna sacrifice Ninetales here, and then get a couple Vine Whips through and hope to get to a Frenzy and one-shot it. But I don't think I took this low enough to one-shot it. And they're going to have the Aerial Ace and they're going to outpace me. So they'll get one Aerial Ace, it won't take me out, but I'll get a Frenzy and that won't take them out. What I should have done is I should have stayed in with Ninetales, try to get to the Overheat again, took the damage on Jellicent, and then had your Venusaur alignment on Credilli. So this was definitely a throw of a matchup. I did not play this well at all. Steelix obviously is a great lead, so they're going to get out probably into something. Dugong. I mean, I have Jellicent, which is a great answer. I think I'm trying to chip here because I know one Shadow Ball does not take out and these are resisted. So grab a shield and then catch on the Jellicent, which is nice. And it's just an icy wind, so I caught a bait move at that. Looks like we CMP, which is nice to get this off just in case they do bait again and go Icy Wind. Again, after they threw one Icy Wind, one Shadow Ball is not going to take out. Yeah, go a couple draw-ins here. It's a loud bird out my window. Get to the Shadow Ball again. Right at the same time, yeah, 5 hexes, 5 ice shards. So I take switch. I have some energy coming out. I got shield advantage, so things are looking pretty good. I would not be surprised if they just farm down here and just try and come out with like multiple moves to go back to back on Ninetales, or bank it and see what they have in the back. Okay, so they're going to go one here. I'd be surprised if I shield the first one. They could go back to back here. I may shield, I may not. It is a crunch, which hurts. Oh, and there is your Ninetales. So this is easy, and it's a Charmer. So once I grab the shield here, I will just be able to go Sludge Bomb to take this out. Yeah. Game over. Okay, good lead. I'm getting a lot of good leads here, and that's the thing, right? There are some water Pokemon like Quagsire, Jellicent I'm using on my team. There's some flyer waters in like Pelipper and Mantine. But there's a lot that's banned that Ninetales would have problems with. Now let me bring up that ban list again. But I used also, you're going to see a team that got me up to 2700 with Go. And I think fires are really, really strong right now in this meta. So like no Lantern, no Azumarill, no Whiscash, no Altaria, no Bastiodon, no Clodsire, no Skeledirge, which would likely beat you. So there's quite a lot of banned Pokemon that would do very, very well against Ninetales and the other Fire-type Pokemon, which makes it kind of strong. And the team that I've ran with the most so far is Go, Jellicent, and a third. I forget about the third, but those two pair, and that's why I paired it with right here, because it works very well, right? Because Go is going to be weak to fighting, it's going to be weak to ground, it's going to be weak to water, and Jellicent can kind of deal with all those pretty easily. So that combo worked very well. So I think fires are pretty strong in this meta right now. Yeah, both Ninetales are. I'm using the Charmer again on another team, and it's worked pretty well. So there's that. Again, if they have Moonblast, I expect them to get out right away. There is your water. Problem is, if this is Stone Edge, it's going to hurt. So I end up shielding, and I'm like, can I farm down before they take me out? I cannot. And because Venusaur is so glassy, and I have an 8 attack, and because Mudshot is neutral, and Stone Edge is neutral, like, I'm worried that a Stone Edge would take me out from this range. So I'm going to have to actually, despite having an amazing matchup, double shield there. And I do that knowing that if this does in fact have Moonblast again, then they are basically drawing dead here. And I'll get a second Frenzy off and take this out because Venusaur absolutely chunks. So goodbye. Out comes your next water. And once I get this Frenzy off, this game is over. I would not be surprised if I stay in, Vine Whip down, try to force them to throw energy, because they're going to have, no, don't have to, but now the damage is done, right? So I come in Ninetales, just take this move, take the Scald. Scald probably takes me out. And now I just have, just like 1 HP, but now I have Jellicent just to absorb what is very, very little left. So again, terrible lead, Jellicent safe swap, get hit with a Ferrothorn, so this game's pretty much over already. We're gonna have to, hopefully at best, grab a shield with Shadow Ball. Worst case scenario, come out 2 shields each, Fire Spin down, overheat, and then try and take the rest with Venusaur, but not optimistic. I remember this because they live, and I thought that I didn't have enough time. But if I just went up the 1 more hex, I could have got to a Shadow Ball and forced a shield. So I then decide, okay, if Venusaur has to sweep here, let's just come in here, take a resisted move, farm down aggressively. But now they chip me here, and now they have the Mantine still, so this game's over. Power up double resisted, but I'm already in and then Annihilate, so I maybe try and catch here. Yeah, this game's over. This is a top left. That's the things with fire, and like it's not like fire is the only typing that just gets absolutely walled and can't do anything. Like there's others, but that's why I prefer those. Like that's why I prefer Lickitung and I prefer Sableye and stuff like that. It's just because like you will always have a chance to like chip or grab shields and stuff like that. Like you're never truly out of it. Or as opposed to Ninetales on like a water Pokemon, you need to get out and then you have no shot against it. So there's not much you can do. Ninetales into Magnezone. There's been a lot of those. So another good lead. They'll get out into Feraligatr. Let's see if they go Ice Beam. If they go Ice Beam, I still may throw right before they get to Hydro, because I really don't want to take a Hydro here. Because these claws are riding up and a Hydro will take, and now they're going to shield. This, I think, is a Hydro, but I think it's still like take me out from this range. Shadow on Shadow. It's like I have to shield to keep alignment because I cannot have my Jellicent see the Magnezone. And these will still hurt. These will do over 50% too. Way over 50% resisted there. Huge amount of damage from a Venusaur to a Magnezone because, crazy. Come in here. I'm down a shield. They can only throw Aerial Aces, which is not a great move. And basically, as soon as I get the second Shadow Ball off, I think this game is over. Because once I get the second Shadow Ball off, it's going to put them into the yellowish. Which means that it's basically Fire Spin Weather Ball range. So I know I'm not doing fast move timing because I don't know how much energy they have. So I just want to get this off. Chip to the yellow. I'll throw Surf unless they want to throw here. They have to throw, and then they're just Fire Spin Weather Ball range. And unless they're running Water Pulse, they're not going to have Ice Beam or Aerial Ace is not going to do it. So Water Pulse or I'm fine. I forgot how tired I am when I do 100 battles per day. Because it takes like, I did all 100 battles yesterday. I'm getting a lot of good leads with this. I'm well aware that I have a ton of good leads. Okay, Mandibuzz in the back sucks. So I'm going to have to kind of stay in with this and chip at least. I'm hoping this overheat lands. I'm really hoping this overheat lands. And it does. So that's good. I will then come in Venusaur, take the air laces. These are still going to hurt, but sort of the best case scenario is that landing. I could probably just go straight Frenzy at this point. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Force this last shield. Not last shield. Force a shield or take it out. I do take it out. That would have been the first shield. Okay. My Ninetales is chipped though. They come Ferrothorn. So I will throw a couple sludges before and they're probably going to try to get at least a move coming out. So I think I get 2 off here because I think they try to be aggressive here. No, okay, just 1. That's fine. And now I can get the Fire Spin on this, and then we'll see what is in the back for both of us. Power from here would take out, so I'm fine committing the shield. And it is an Emolga, which is rough. So I'm going to throw 1 here. I would not be surprised if I Fire Spin and throw a second one here. I was about to say, I may do this because I don't think a Discharge takes out a full health Jellicent. And I think I chipped this enough that it is in Shadow Ball range for them to be taken out. And like I said, I don't think a Discharge takes me out, so I'm not super worried. And Emolga doesn't charge super fast. Having tried to use it a couple times, it's not great. Not anywhere close. I just go Surf because I think Surf is enough to take it out. I don't know about that. Almost. They come in. I do get the Surf off to take them out. And then I'll Hex down the 1 HP that is left on the Emolga. So there we go. So yeah, Ninetales worked well. I can see that I had a lot of good leads, so that made it easier. But again, I had a lot of good leads because a lot of the stuff in the open meta that would take care of it is not in here. You still need to watch out for like I said, Mantine, Pelipper, Quagsire, Dragons are tough. But I feel like Dragons are one of those that you can overheat and still do like 80% on. Yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, this actually Dragons on top of Mandibuzz in the backs, Dragons against Ninetales Venusaur would be pretty tough. And then, like I said, like a Mantine or Pelipper would take care of Ninetales and Venusaur. So it takes some jumping around, but any sort of neutral situations I relate to Ninetales. Anyways, lots and lots and lots and lots of teams coming. So I got like 9 to 10 of them already, and we're going to keep going. So probably 2 videos a day. It is on next week as well, so maybe I'll save some for next week and do maybe some of these like what happened to videos. And that's basically it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.